Don't go live here. Before you go live, the public servant shall make the officials to leave office and to fill vacancies by regular elections and appointments. How many times we haven't reminded you of the power that you have? You are exercising the power that you have. You don't know that you have that power. Unknowingly exercising the power that you have. You think I'm lying? Then listen to this excerpt taken from the preamble of the United States Constitution, which is no different from ours. And if you think we're lying, that you don't have that power, go and ask the CDC-led government.
It becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to these separations. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such forms as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security.
That is why you did it on October 10, and the desired results did not come. You went back to the polls on November 14, and you spoke and you said, this is the one we want. We don't want that one. This part, listen to this part. Just listen. The message is at the end of this. Listen.
Long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object, but when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security.
That is what you did. Good afternoon to you. This is State of the Nation. My name is Koluba, and Fina will join me later on in the jiffy. That is, she's out and about right here in the corridor trying to put one or two things together. We are going to 5 o'clock this afternoon with some fascinating discussion on our common patrimony, Republic of Liberia. Republic of Liberia. We have all signed on to live in harmony. To live in harmony. Exercising our natural, inherent, and inalienable rights to establish a framework of government for the purpose of promoting unity, liberty, peace, stability, equality, justice, and human rights under the rule of law. I've always spoken to you about ancient day philosophers. John Locke wrote on the state of nature, where there was no government and everyone was fetching for himself or herself. In essence, it said, the survival of the fittest. That means if you are strong, you'll survive. You will subdue somebody and take their property. But mankind said, no, we can't live this way. We should form a government, let everyone respect, pay taxes, tribute, and allegiance to said government. And that government should be able to provide so what was it? What you that government, let me look for my man here. Some people are not leaders. Some people are not leaders. Oh man, I'll find it. Some people are not leaders. Yeah, that government should be able to provide The enabling environment, or the enabling I was looking for, so I never say inalienable right. The enabling environment where everyone will exercise or achieve their own potentials. That's all. That is all. Good afternoon to you, Mr. President Joseph Yuman Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, born in Wasanga, walked from Wasanga to Sierra Leone and found himself in the bustling city of Monrovia and crisscrossed the capital. He found himself in Firestone as a tapper. Later on, returned to Monrovia with a big-hearted vision. He wanted to attend the most prestigious secondary school in Monrovia, the College of West Africa. How did he manage? He had to be a janitor, sell in the restaurants as well. Later on, rose to bookkeeping specialist and then president of the senior class of the great College of West Africa. What lesson should this teach us? For me, it has taught me a huge sense of belongingness and responsibility. That if you aspire to get anything, you can get it. That is if you work towards it. Good afternoon to you, Magdalene.
Good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Look at a soft voice. How are you doing? You
No.
are somebody special different. Let me tell you this way. Yes. Look, where that soft voice from? How are you doing? What, you tired? Either you tired or you don't want to be nice today. What's up?
I'm always nice.
What's up?
I'm good. It's good to be back.
Yes, good to
Yeah.
be back. And
Yeah.
yes, how was your night?
Yeah, I spent well. I mean, when I went home,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
I went home. I sat in a chair, and I was so tired. So from when we left for here at 6:00 again,
No, so when you left from here,
no, I'm talking about how you call it, the drawer and Ato. The drawer and Ato. Yeah. They dropped me.
Oh,
No,
I
I
don't-
drove, but they
I
went along with me.
I don't know.
No, I'm only telling you what
Oh,
happened.
oh,
No,
okay.
I'm not asking you for a response.
Oh. Hey, you better yeah. What happened next? You sat down in the chair. What happened?
Please allow me to speak.
What happened?
So I went and sat down. Sleep just carried me. I was just 10 o'clock. Yeah, but I was so tired. Yeah, but I had a wonderful night. Slept
No,
well.
it can happen. It
Yeah.
can happen. For me, for the past two nights now, I haven't slept in my own bedroom.
Okay.
By the time I sit in our sofa, I'm gone.
Okay.
Eh?
Yeah.
I am gone. I don't
But
know.
it
I can
depends
watch
when-
football game. Any other place I will not fall asleep. But by the time I enter my own living room,
It
I'm
depends when
gone.
you reach home.
Oh,
Yeah.
it depends.
When you reach home.
Chief, what do
It
we
was,
have?
it was,
What do we have?
oh Lord.
Hmm?
It depends when you reach home.
Okay, so leave that now. I'm deliberately trying to tell you, let's leave that. And then what do we have?
So you will give me something when we leave it?
No, I
Is
don't
that-
give ransom. That's corruption.
Or
Mm-hmm.
okay, be acting nice.
Mhm.
We'll continue the topic.
Mm-hmm.
We'll continue it.
If you want, we can call a moderator. Then we go on our other side. Eh?
Oh my people.
Where is Ben Brown 30?
Yeah,
Is he in
Chief, how you
town?
doing?
Brown, you disappeared, man, since the Barker-led government took over.
No, he has been calling.
When?
On some Fridays especially.
Which Friday? So why is he only keeping for Friday?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Hmm?
that's his leisure time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But on Friday, Brown 30, how you doing? Chief, David Cody, my bestie was so blonde yesterday. Oh.
David Coty, somebody told us to download that audio and use it as a reminder, a teaser reminder.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our recording system failed when you were calling yesterday. David Coty, you sent me all kind of video that I don't want you to be sending me in my inbox. Then I called on you. I said, please record yourself and tell me
Yeah, Bron
exactly.
He
Nah,
call it.
bruh.
Yeah, that's in the model.
Bruh. Paul, tell me, just say exactly what you said. Send it to me.
So you can be so quiet listening. You can't
Brown?
put on the show.
Yes, Brown.
How you doing?
We are good, man. How is it? No. You don't, how do you call it? There has been no show of recent, I mean, during past time that you have not called to participate. From January 22nd, you gone in oblivion. What's happening? Yes.
You sure when you give me dispensation when I call at the last, when you're holding me up?
That was before.
No. I'm the president of Wakai.
Look, you can't even remember. You don't even. You can't even master the president name after President Wakai.
You are the president Wakai. Oh wait, my man. The best day of my president before he came to the throne.
No, this is not. No, this is not a monarchy. This is not a monarchy form of government. Not the throne. Yes. Okay. So just say the presidency. Don't mesmerize it. This is not a monarchy form of government. Do we have? Can we predict any public service job for you?
Well, my man, we are politicians and we are public servants.
My man, don't listen to me. Listen to me. The reward for political support, loyalty is not up there, is here. And you are talking with somebody who can easily call the president and he picks up. We talk.
Yeah, my friend.
Yes.
They say when you're afraid for people, you can do it for the king. When I get the president appointed, you know.
Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. I will be preferred. I don't know when, but don't worry about me. Don't make me look like the guy who are receiving CVs from people who himself has not been announced. So those CVs are being trashed.
It's in 100 days deliverable.
Nobody can reject any good thing.
Okay, so if it can, you hold it, right?
I've been following you guys when Magdalene always give you answer from the start of the show. And then you
see, this is the problem I get with it. Why you want to make Magdalene feel that she, yeah.
To quiet her down, but if you begin to resist the few times.
Yo, you gotta see your ground. Yeah.
Mama, if you want to, in fact, the regret is that the recording lost. Somebody just sent me text yesterday. No, I will go there tonight. He will record it. I will bring it. It's a reminder to Prince Johnson and others.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, my man, I always listen to you guys. I'm still following. So
Can you take a commissioner job for? Hold on. Hold on. Can you take a commissioner job for Zlatan Township?
My man, it's really. I'm former superintendent of the township. They say commissioner job. My man, it's really.
So what's the threshold?
My man, also you not local government or man.
What's about commissioner for the township of West Point?
My man, don't be agitated for me. My man, what are you talking about, man?
So which one you want now, baby? When you?
But even you not suggesting anything, my man.
You want to be ambassador at large?
Huh?
Eh? Ambassador at large. That's somebody job you liking that also, Chief. Hi, yeah,
I got come from the superintendent of the county. They are going to be township commissioner. If me, I don't know what I'm doing.
If I were you, you would strip off that superintendent position because that was a rebel government arrangement. Okay, you go back as superintendent for Grange there.
No, for now, I don't have any intention to serve as
But then, Brian, you become a problem child now. Everywhere we say you don't want it.
My man,
Wait,
Give me a second, so I get your number. I will
you get a president hat on.
Just text me. Just
Yeah.
I will call Chris.
maybe you're ashamed to say live, I mean, on air.
I will call you. So
Okay. Brand 30.
I just want to show you that I always follow you anytime when you get on air.
Yeah, we're just trying to de-stress, man. We're just trying to de-stress.
Testing me whether I'm always listening to you.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
always this.
It is true.
Okay, Chief.
Thank you, Brand
Okay,
30.
my man, you will refinish my video because you kept me on the line.
Don't worry. I saw you drop. Madeleine will send you $5. I have unlimited.
No, if you don't have unlimited, any price for this time, you always have unlimited. They are for this time. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But you know, I was listening to you all day. When Madeleine said,
Don't mind him. Don't mind him.
When we start contract with Deputy. So okay, all right. But that also
Chief, that Debbie Deca. That also. I will accept you.
For you, eh?
No, on behalf of you.
No, but wait now. Why are you making the thing look like? Oh, this is what? What's your problem?
Chief,
I'll dismiss you for you.
That problem for you to be Debbie 2 times.
I'll dismiss you for you.
Eh?
Yeah.
That problem for you to be Debbie 2 times.
Yeah. No, you know something. You know something.
Yeah, but
you know something. No, but yeah, it's very. Yeah.
I mean, from Keke, when Keke say bide.
Can we take a minute? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's do this one quickly. Orange first. Yes, we let's do orange, and then we can go quickly to So here we are. Where's orange? I'm not seeing orange.
Yes.
Okay, now I get it.
Orange remains Liberia's
There are too many things coming up today. We'll tell you who is the next. Who is he? The incoming chief of the army, chief of staff of the army, Division Fuller. I will tell you a little bit about him, his achievements, his accomplishment, or whatsoever you want to call it. But first, Orange Liberia. And then in the JFA, we'll talk to a young man who is pushing, doesn't want to sit and put his hands between his legs, pushing for the better.
Starting today, why not have a little more fun? Why not use money this easily? Why not get even closer to family? Why not work how you've always wanted? Fun, money, family, work. No network keeps you connected to it all, quite like Orange. It's all about what matters to you. Orange. Starting today. Why not have a little more fun? Why not use money this easily? Why not get even closer to family? Why not work how you've always wanted? Fun, money, family, work. No network keeps you connected to it all, quite like Orange.
We have in studio already an employee, I would say an employee of the Institute for Policy Evaluation and Research, IPAR for short, James B. Cuddy. James, good afternoon. It's good to have you here. Hello? Okay. Yeah. Sorry. James?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, sure.
Good afternoon. Thanks again for that. Great to be on the show. Thanks to everyone who joined me the other day.
Mm.
Today we're here again to talk about project we're running in education. A few days ago we were here. We talked about the project inception. We talked about the validation meeting that we were supposed to have at iCampus. We also talked about the stakeholders that were also that had also agreed to form part of our validation meeting. So again, today is an opportunity to have some conversation about the post validation, some conversations around the post validation, and so also talk about some of our plans in the coming days and weeks. So I want to use the opportunity to thank you again for this invite.
Okay, James. So let's go quickly to the post validation that you if so on Monday, right?
Yes.
Monday?
That was actually the 30th.
Oh yes. I almost asked you for your colleague.
Yes, he's actually busy running some errands, but here actually.
Okay. Are they with you?
So I'm here alone actually.
No, I'm saying. Oh, okay. I thought you came as a team. All right. Okay, so tell us, give us update on the validation. I'm all ears. I did not attend. I received an invite. I'm so sorry. I apologize, but I was so busy.
Right, it's okay.
Yeah.
But just before going to the validation, I just like to give a backdrop of the project. Um, sometime, sometimes like a year ago, the USAID commissioned two research activities to determine the present issues that Liberians are confronted with. And so the first project, the first research activity was a geopool, and that was followed by the political economy analysis. So those two studies findings show that Liberians are mostly particular about three present issues: economic empowerment, health, and education. So it was contingent upon that USAID through DAI um, put up a call for proposal for civil society organizations that are working in education, in health. So that's how Institute for Policy Evaluation, my institution, submitted a proposal, a very compelling proposal, and that's how we won the project. So for the last over 8 months, we've been working in Bong and in Lofa counties. So our project is basically tailored towards investigating, conducting research and investigating the collection of public school registration fees. So we've been working across the counties. We did a couple of research activities to determine what are the challenges that public schools are confronted with. We also did a research to determine what is the medium through which students pay their tuition. And so through all of these research activities, we realized that there were some issues that bring stakeholders, we needed to bring to stakeholders' concern. So the validation meeting was actually held so as to project some of the findings and also have the input of policymakers, to have the input of stakeholders from the Ministry of Education, civil society organizations that are working in education, as well as youth and student-led organizations. So on the 30th of January, the validation meeting was held at our campus, and we had representatives from the Ministry of Education, we had representatives from the Youth and Student Organization of Liberia, the Liberian National Student Union, the Federation of Liberian Youth, as well as stakeholders, from education stakeholders from the sub-national level. We had representatives from the counties in Bong and Lofa counties. So it was really an information sharing. It was basically an interactive section.
Okay.
So during that engagement,
Yeah.
there were other conversations. Some education stakeholders suggested some other things that we are now beginning to look.
Okay, very good. So tell us, what are some of the issues that were what are some of the fundings from ARPA that were presented to stakeholders?
So I mean, there are a couple of them, but the main person, once you realize that the government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Education, some time ago, talked about having this harmonized, and standardized tuition or registration collection across every county. So at the elementary level, the government said students were to pay 1,000. That is, each student will pay 1,000 Liberian dollars, and a junior high 2,000, and a senior high 3,000. But our research uncovered that some schools, a lot of schools within the counties, are charging far beyond that amount, which is a violation of the very Ministry of Education law or policy, if there's anything of that nature. And so we also observed that their schools are charging extra fees, under the rules of extracurricular activities. Of course, there's not this supervision. There's not much supervision and monitoring activities from local education actors like the DEOs and the CEOs in the counties. So schools are basically vulnerable. They're run by themselves. So these findings were actually discovered. And so during the validation meeting, stakeholders were suggesting that there has to be more emphasis placed on supervision from the Ministry of Education. DEOs have to be empowered so that they can reach out to the schools to ensure that.
Who represented the MOE, the Ministry of Education?
So we actually had I don't remember exactly the name of the individual, but the person.
Well, you had representation from the Ministry of Education. Okay.
Yeah. So we also had the Liberia, the National Teachers Association was also represented. Of course, how very crucial, very significant the National Teachers Association is to our education system. They were also part of that conversation as well.
Okay, so James, tell us what are some of the inputs that, let's say, Ministry of Education, after presenting those findings, let's hear from you. What did they say? Maybe we could also touch on the principals and as well the teachers, the students, because I mean it's a problem that is affecting everyone. Yeah.
So of course the education stakeholders acknowledged some of our findings. They also acknowledged that there are challenges in the education system that requires a multi-layer approach. So as much as the Ministry of Education, according to them, will be, is concerned about some of these challenges, but it will also mean that they cannot do everything, unilaterally. It will require funding. Of course, funding has to come from, has to be, allocation from the legislature. And of course, it has to be a holistic approach. So, consistent with that, we have established what we call the Education Coalition. 3 civil society organizations that are working on same project have established an education coalition that's also going to be meeting with officials from the Ministry of Education. Of course, we're hearing that the confirmation of the education minister was done. We're hearing that she's most likely to be confirmed in the coming days. If that happens, we are beginning to we'll have a meeting with her, and we also we've already organized a meeting with the leadership from the legislature, from the Senate and the House of Representatives. So we're also going to be meeting with them as well to see how well we can now apportion and place more emphasis on improving education. You may also remember that Liberia is a signatory to a lot of international instruments. One of the instruments is the Asian Declaration that requires that every member state should apportion at least 20% of its budget to education. So Liberia has yet to really meet that threshold. So these engagements we're going to be having in the coming days, in the coming weeks, are intended to actually ensure that we have at least 20% of our national budget allocated towards education.
Yeah. So are you also concerned about who chairs the committee on education at the legislature?
Absolutely.
Do you think it's going to have any impact, negative impact on the sector? You want to speak to that?
I'm not going to speak to the politics of it, but what I'm going to say for sure is there are certain individuals that we are not going to work with. we're clear about that. We are receiving funding from USAID. USAID is clear about certain individuals we are to work with and certain individuals we are not to work with. Irrespective of your position at the legislature, once you are on that list of individuals we're not supposed to work with, we're not going to work with you. So what we're going to do, in as much as you may be the chairperson of the education committee, maybe at the Senate, we're not going to work with you. We're going to work with certain individuals we term as champions. We are clear about that.
Okay, so what did the principals or school administrators said? Because presenting all of these findings to them with regards to how public, schools are overly charging the students, and then presenting this information to them, what was their response, including the pictorial evidence you got from in a field that, it's sometimes you look at them and you think it's heartbreaking, and it's something, it's worrisome. So what did they have to say concerning those pictorial evidences from the field?
It's common saying amongst Liberians, and of course, one of the participants said that during the validation meeting, that where you thought a goat, there where the goat is going to eat from. That is the meaning is really not a very good statement we normally make in Liberia. But of course, that was what one of the participants said. There is this growing concern that the government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Education, retired a lot of teachers. So they retire teachers and they now have the funding, to hire more teachers. So as a result of that, we have volunteer teachers. So some of the justification that PTAs gave and principals gave, school administrators gave, was that they charge these extra fees, these additional fees called extracurricular activities. So activities fees, so as to accommodate for volunteer teachers, and of course, almost all of the schools complain that they have not received funding from the Ministry of Education in almost 2 years. So one of the
2 years.
Principal said, then how do you expect us to be functional as a school if we cannot receive funding from the Ministry of Education?
So should we hold the Ministry of Education responsible for what schools are doing?
Yeah, I would say yes. The Ministry of Education has a role to play because these schools are public schools. they are to be funded by government.
So why the money goes? Oh my God!
And that is why in the coming days we are scheduling a meeting with the education minister. If she gets confirmed, we're also going to be meeting with the authority from the legislature to begin having conversation. Like I said, there are certain individuals at the legislature we are not going to work with. We're clear about that. We're not going to work.
You want to get reason? Is it instruction from the American people? I guess it has to do with this sanction, right? So, but then this sanction official is the chair on the community education.
Yeah.
How do you think he's going to propagate his on the floor in his Senate on this educational situation if he's a taboo to contact?
In stakeholder analysis, we have spoilers, we have potential spoilers, and we have champions. So at the legislature, we have a group of people who are labeled as spoilers. So we're not going to work with them, irrespective of the position they hold. We rather go.
The funder, hello, those funding your initiative, your research, are they the one telling you not to have anything to do with them, all based on your own stuff?
Well, the Americans are clear. We are receiving funding from the American government. So the American is clear about who you should work with and who not to work with.
So these are sanction, or the chair is a sanction official, so that they don't have to tell you that. That's why you say they don't have to tell you because it's an open secret. So you just going by the instruction of the Americans, right? Oh,
it's with these individuals. That's the first thing.
Yeah, but the sanction is telling you not to do business with them.
It's clear that you're not supposed to do business with them. So we're not going to do business.
So you rather use the co-chair?
We are going to use the co-chair. We're going to use other influencers at the legislature, those who believe in the improvement of Liberia's education system.
So are you going to share the report with us, especially the media, because we are partners? Or we have to do? Are we going to pay for it? Okay, so where can we get it from?
So we are launching the report this month. Once the report is out, I'm personally going to deliver a copy here at your office.
Okay, sir. So it's an 8-month program, and so what is it still ongoing, or you're climaxing right now?
Project is actually a year-long project. So the project ends by March 15. We should be concluding the project. So the end of project, we are going to have the stakeholders meeting. We are going to have the training of our Citizen Action Committee. I talked about the Citizen Action Committee the other time. The CAC is a conglomerate of education stakeholders in the counties, parents, PTA members, the media, people living with disability, and youth-led organizations. So we're going to be training the CACs in the two project counties, Bong and Lofa. And we're also going to be having year-end, project evaluation. So at which time the report should be out, and I'm personally going to deliver a copy here. But again, I must emphasize that we have a long way to go. Our education system is hugely challenged. Schools are underfunded. Schools are really not delivering, especially the public schools are really not delivering, up to the needed results. And of course, it is a big challenge that we all need to work on.
So is it a leadership deficit at the Ministry of Education that is causing more in some of these problems across the country with the school system? Or we can also say that schools should be held responsible for some of the challenges they go through or some of the issues they have there.
Are not run by themselves. The schools are run by human beings. So if the Ministry of Education is actually exerting that supervision, I think we will not experience the challenges that we're experiencing. Like I told you, there are places we've gone. DEOs do not go there. DEOs are just around. For example, when in actuality, DEOs are supposed to be monitoring the schools. We went to one school somewhere in Lofa. No DEO has been there in over 5 months.
Wow.
When the DEOs are supposed to be on ground to monitor, to ensure that the schools are actually delivering, the schools are actually teaching based on the curriculum, the approved MOE's curriculum. So I think the bigger problem is the Ministry of Education, and that is why this project is a policy advocacy project. And that is why we will now begin, even though we began the project by having inception meetings and stakeholders meeting with members of the legislature, with the authorities from the Ministry of Education. But there has been this shift in power. So we're going to have new leadership now at the legislature and new leadership at the Ministry of Education. So we're going to commence our engagement with them to ensure that schools are adequately monitored and that schools are adequately funded.
Okay, so I hope we get the report and then we can continue the conversation. I'm so much interested in this. You want to ask a question?
No.
Oh, okay. So we are closing now. James, thank you so much for coming. Do you want to say anything else before we can close? Okay.
And this project is exclusively focused on investigating public school registration fees. We want to know, for example, registration fees that are collected, what medium are they collected through? We got indication that the money comes to the Ministry of Education Central Office, and the Ministry of Education remits 40% of that money back to public school on individual principal mobile money number. We want to know for what purpose. The 60% that remains with the Ministry of Education, what does the ministry do with it? We also want to know, why is the ministry not properly monitoring schools? Why are schools underfunded? Why in this day and age, students are still being required to pay what we call test fees to write exam? So these are some of the challenges we think we want to take a whole holistic approach to working on, to improving. And we want to be very grateful to USAID for the support through DAI, the Civil Society Activity Project. And we're looking forward to ensuring that, working with all education stakeholders, including the media, to ensure that our school system works and works for the better.
Wow. So I can say the minister designate, minister of education has serious tax, a very huge tax ahead. Okay, James, thank you so much. I hope after the report has been released, we hope to get our copy so we can look at it and make the conversation wider.
Thank you so much. Thanks for that.
Yeah, extend my greetings to Ben Jacobs. Okay, Jacob. Yeah, please extend my greetings to him. Okay, thanks so much for coming. Yeah, so that's James. Yeah, yes, James Colley. So let's take Orange, and when we come back, then we move on to our next guest.
Let's finish our coming water heading Mahalo. No worry. How was cinema Sissy Shona? I saw in next week episode. I said I would join you with your money, Lord. Give me out for your house.
Chip, just not working with Filipino show business. Don't worry, I got the perfect solution for you. I heard it on the radio. Hey, they make the announcement again. Just listen.
More light at home, more possibilities for greatness. Orange Energy is a reliable solution to all light problems. Inspired by the sun and changing lives, one beam at a time. Brighter days are here. Orange Energy now provides reliable electricity at affordable rates, with solar kits starting at $6,565 Liberian dollars and monthly payments starting at $1,600 Liberian dollars. Visit any of our stores or POS to purchase your kit.
Brings you closer to what matters.
No need to spend plenty money on traditional septic tank that has lot of different challenges. Biodigester septic tank is the best modern solution for all waste management. One biodigester septic tank can serve you for more than 25 years with no problem. Cheddar Construction Company of Africa Incorporated also gave 1 to 2 years period of free maintenance. Additional services include building construction, electrical wiring, plumbing, POPCD and sculpture, and many others. For more details, visit Cheddar office at Covenant Builders Campus, Vocal Mission, Peaceville, Liberia, or call 0776 454130, 0776 454130, or 080984569. Or you can visit our Facebook page, Cheddar Construction Company of Africa Incorporated. Cheddar, your trusted partner for all construction needs.
Okay, so this is State of the Nation, and in the JFED, we will be going to across the United States here in Liberia to discuss preserving and institutionalizing Liberian cultural practices. This is State of the Nation. First, let's go back to Orange.
Let's finish our coming water heading Mahalo. No worry. How was cinema Sissy Shona? I saw in next week episode. I said I would join you with your money, Lord. Give me out for your house.
Chip, just not working with Filipino show business. Don't worry, I got the perfect solution for you. I heard it on the radio. Hey, they make the announcement again. Just listen.
More light at home, more possibilities for greatness. Orange Energy is a reliable solution to all light problems. Inspired by the sun and changing lives, one beam at a time. Brighter days are here. Orange Energy now provides reliable electricity at affordable rates, with solar kits starting at $6,565 Liberian dollars and monthly payments starting at $1,600 Liberian dollars. Visit any of our stores or POS to purchase your kit.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
Mommy count it against preserving and institutionalizing Liberia culture. Joe Baba and others of the Deconti Theater, the folks are there. Yes, so friends, let me go to Joe. Joe, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you? And how's everybody doing out there, man?
Well, we're doing good. As you know, Liberia is in another chapter of its national history, and we're doing good. Great.
And that's the reason I'm on as well, because I want to give all Liberians the courage to know that we're ready to start. And anything we can do to help, we are ready to do so. Especially as it pertains to the subject matter today, preserving and institutionalizing Liberian culture. That is very significant to the success of the nation moving forward.
Okay, that's good. So let me go to Studio B to talk to have the opening statement from the folks there. All of you microphones are open. Let's do it clockwise. Usually it's counterclockwise, but let's take it from left to right. Is that clockwise? Clockwise, yes. Left to right. Yes, next. Let's hear you.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having us. Good afternoon once again. I'm Gunnar Singh, Daniel Soul Jr. I am the country representative for the Gati Theater Incorporated, the chapter.
Thank you, Hillary. Next.
Can you hear the person?
Can you hear them?
No.
You're not hearing them?
No, I'm not hearing the second person.
Well, you heard the first person, right?
Yes, I heard the first person.
Okay, so the guy will take care of it. Gentlemen, yes, let's hear you, madam.
Yeah, my name is Martin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the national president of the Eastern Alliance Nigeria, and I'm also the co-person for the Youth Coalition for the Promotion of the Nigerian Culture.
Okay, so yes, man, let's hear you. Mm-hmm. Yes, go on. Mm-hmm. Okay. Last but not least.
Good afternoon. I'm Henry F. Tamba. I'm the director for Dati Dubois chapter.
You guys were here last time, right?
Yeah, it was online.
Online. Oh, you were online. Okay, good to have you guys in studio physically. Let's go to Mr. Dr. Baba. This man cannot get tired with this Liberia cultural orientation. I don't know what whether he signed contract with promoting Liberian culture. Doug, good afternoon to you once again. What do you mean by preserving and institutionalizing Liberian cultural heritage?
Okay, before I do that, let me just answer your, satisfy your doubt, Duchan. You said whether I got contract to do cultural thing in Liberia. The answer to that inquiry is that I received a calling from God to do this 50 years ago. And this year, it makes it 50 years, half a century. So that's why it seems like I have a contract with, the country to promote the culture of the country, because it comes from God. It came from God. Now, preserving and institutionalizing are two critical words that this current government must listen to. Preserving. When you preserve something, you make sure that it is not touched, that it is not destroyed, that is not tampered with, but that is dignified, that is respected. So anything that has to do with who we are as a people, as a nation, it should be respected. So that's the first thing that we will go back to when we talk about preserving. What do I mean by preserving also? There are, for instance, certain parts of the forest in Liberia that were preserved by our people and reserved by our people as sacred sites. So those sacred sites, for instance, because it's part of our tradition that our ancestors handed down to us, we must protect that part of the forest that has been identified as a sacred site. So that our spirit, our inspiration as a nation and people can be upheld, because there's a spiritual side to life. We got the spiritual side, we got the mental side, and we got that spiritual side is what gives us the soul. It gives us the power to be who we are as Africans, as human beings. So those things are things that we must preserve. Now, institutionalize. When we talk about institutionalizing, I mean that moving forward, we should be teaching Kran, Kru, Grebo, Kisi, Bandi, Loma in all our schools. All our schools, wherever the country is, the predominant linguistic groups in our areas should be taught in the schools so that people know about themselves. Parents should also continue, parents who come from areas where they have the Poro and the Sandy, and even though they may be educated and all of that, but they want to preserve that tradition that was handed down to them, can also consent that at certain time of the year that they go to the Poro and the Sandy bush for school, for traditional cultural learning. So it has to be institutionalized. Then institutionalization also means that we got to construct buildings. We got to construct buildings that will be for museum. Construct school of the arts where people go to study, the traditional dance, music, and all those kinds of things. So those are the two things that we're talking about. And these are areas in which I have done work for 50 years. So that's why I'm
okay. So if I got you correctly, you still want these schools to be activated, to remain activated. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yes. And then that's what I want you now to turn to the young people who are there with you, because they are the ones that are making that request. They tell me, say, Dad, we want you to come home so you can help us to fix this thing. So I asked them, I said, you're sure you're ready for me to come home for us to do this? And they said, yes. So I said, prove it to me. So that's why they're in the studio there with you and all of that. So this is a request that is coming from the young people as well, because all of these children that are on today were born during the wartime, when things were destroyed, when people are traumatized. To help the people come back to who they are, these kinds of activities that we're recommending must take place in Liberia now, beginning now.
Okay, Joe Gaba, with his introductory comment on the need to institutionalize and preserve and institutionalize Liberian culture. It is widely believed that cultural heritage is broken, and it is with ourselves who broke it. In fact, it is just start. Africa allowed the infiltration of the West, and they imposed their culture upon us, unknowingly we adopted and practicing, and then somebody tells me that, hey, you're not civilized. I don't know the definition of civilization, but here we are, so the young people, wow, okay, at least the camera cut off 4. I actually expected 3. So let's come to you again, the first person on the other side. I want to see you on the screen. I'm not seeing you in the studio. What role you think the young people can play, especially since you hold the position, higher position in the Dubai area, to preserve and institutionalize our cultural heritage?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Right,
we have a very vital role to play in the cultural aspect of Liberia, right?
The first thing every Liberian ought to know is that Liberia is the oldest, not just the oldest, but the oldest black nation in Africa and the oldest independent state in the world, right? So you just say, when someone tells you, "Oh, you don't civilize."
No, let's make that correction. Not in the world.
In Africa. Okay. Take it from there. In Africa, okay.
You're saying in the world, and the oldest black independent state
Haiti.
in the world is Haiti.
Haiti, yeah. Okay. Haiti followed by Liberia, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's take it from there in Africa. So take for example, you just walk out today and ask somebody, do you speak your dialect? He will tell you your tribe. That person tells you, I don't speak that thing. Imagine someone looking at their tribe and say, I don't speak that thing. There's our identity, right? So we are trying to tell the Liberian people that our culture is in shimmer, is lost, and we need somebody
who is charged with that understanding, with that capacity to reintroduce our culture. And who is that person? Is no one else but Gbagba. We say Gbagba because Gbagba have been doing a thing for the past 50 years. Okay, 50 years he have been into the cultural affairs of Liberia. Okay, 5 years ago, Gbagba recruited me and other young Liberians in this country. Okay, in the Dati, Legonti Ati Theater, that he introduced all to the affairs of our cultural, or the Afrocentrism and all of that. Okay, so we are seeing today, if we have this man who is always around to talk about Africa and culture in Liberia, why can't we rally around to support him and make sure that the cultural issue in Liberia be revamped and then get back to a rightful place? All right. Or if you take, for example, right, you go to places like Senegal today, the first thing you will encounter with in Senegal is what we call Wolof. It's the people's national dialect. Go to Ghana, you will hear Tree. But come to Liberia, you will hear English all over the place. Okay. And in the Dati, for the past 5 years, since 2019, that Gbagba has been doing everything he could to make sure that Dati, spread the message of peace, culture, and stability in Liberia. Okay. During the COVID time, that Gbagba was there for us. All right. So we are saying today, it is not just about somebody coming up and say, "Oh, I know music," or "I can do culture," or I'm in a culture true stuff.
Hello, what happened? What happened, Chris? Where to start now? Bro, too dirty. I can't hear you.
So if our culture is institutionalized and it become industrialized, it creates job opportunities for us as young people. It creates job opportunities for it create a source of revenue for the country as large. So if we have the culture institutionalized on a vibrant cultural ambassador, because there's one reason that we see the culture of Liberia is actually failing, because we don't have a cultural ambassador that is far-sighted. We don't have a cultural ambassador that is able to institutionalize our culture, that eventually it becomes industrialized to create job opportunities.
So,
our cultural ambassadors, normally we just see them, they just go out to welcome guests, conduct shows and other things. We need a cultural ambassador that will have to work with Liberian Moving Union. We need a cultural ambassador that want to work.
Do you have one on mine? Do you have one on mine? And who's that?
Yes, I've petitioned the national legislature, I've petitioned the office of the president, the Liberian Youth for the Coalition of Promotion of the Liberian Culture. We petition the Liberian presidency, we petition the Liberian national legislature to ensure that Dr. Joseph T. Gbagba, who have 50-year plus experience with a relevant credential and competence to help us revamp and rebuild the Liberian culture.
Oh, wow.
No, you just let the cat out of
the bed.
I am going to build Dr. Baba. I'm going to build him for this public relations.
I mean,
Doc,
it's a breaking news.
The invoice is coming your way.
So, and Mr. Baba,
Doctor, not Mr.
Sorry.
Doctor. Thank you.
Doctor, so he just talked about, adding or increasing importance on the cultural sector, and the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism. Now there is a discussion on the table where tourism is going to be as an agency on its own. Is it part of? Are you also thinking in that direction for the culture to have its own, sector? Let it just be on its own instead of being under the Ministry of Information. Are you also thinking in that direction?
There are. I have put several options on the table for the Liberian people. I'm the founder, executive director of Decanty Artists Theater Incorporated. Is a non-profit organization here in the United States and in Liberia. And it has been in existence for 47 years. So that's part of my legacy as a national playwright. And quite recently, we began raising funds to construct the first school of the Performing and Visual Arts and Center for Peace and Cultural Studies. That's part of my institutionalization, plan. And so as an individual, as a private citizen, I can also be Republic of Liberia if DATI as a nonprofit can get a cooperation of the government to help us get grants for the international organization like USAID and all of that. And we will be able to provide services as an implementing agency of the government. So in that capacity, for instance, we already got a chapter in Maryland and in Masurado. With the funds that we get, we'll be able to establish DATI chapters in all 15 counties. When they are established in all 15 counties, each county director will work with the people there with respect to preserving and institutionalizing the culture of Liberia. So we do it on a regional level like that with the correct, support from government. That's from DATI. Also, as a professional technocrat in the area of culture and education, don't forget that I went to school for it, apart from being a descendant of a traditional royal family. So I'm a traditional African with no mixed blood, nothing, no Congo blood, nothing, just purely traditional African. So I also have that in me as part of my ancestry, my inheritance. So the natural part is there. So therefore, I can also serve as a consultant with the government to implement certain things that they want implemented in the government. So there are so many options there for the Liberian people. It's also with the cultural ambassador thing that the young man was talking about. That will even give me a better leverage for me to train artists and then to begin to take them across the world to perform at famous, performing centers, Lincoln Center, Kennedy Center for the Arts, Smithsonian a museum of African art, Paris, London. Those kinds of things are the kinds of things we are talking about, you know, when you talk about cultural ambassador and all of that. Training my people and taking them to Broadway, those kinds of things. Because that's part of my training. I went to acting school. I was taught by Broadway and Hollywood actors and all of that. Then I went to educational school at a Jesuit university, St. Joseph's University, where I did special education, elementary and special education. And I did that because I was in the war. I was in Liberia throughout the war. And I saw what happened to young people. They were deprived access to equality of educational opportunities. So I said, and then that type of educational training, you know, prepares you to deal with people that are traumatized, like most of the young people, most of you there in Liberia are, you know, and people that have learning disabilities. Certain people can hear, but they need hearing aid in order for them to learn better, you know, those kinds of things. And also because we've had war, the children grew up by themselves. They didn't have supervision. They became men and women too early. Those things have psychological impact on the minds of the people. So that type of education that I did is a scientific type of education that you do to help people who have gone through what you guys have gone through in Liberia. You see? So there are so many components to it, so we can teach it. I can teach trained actors.
God, let me hold you there. Come to the young lady in studio. She's member of DATI, Deconti Arts and Theater that you founded. Madam, sorry again, your name? Promise. Tell me, what are these gentlemen saying? And you said it, watching, looking at their faces in genuineness. You think they are possible? You think it can happen if Dr. Baba is announced as cultural ambassador? Mind you, Doc, I don't know whether you're aware of it. There is a young lady there who has been there for over 20 years, and people say she's doing extremely well. But let me come to this a member of DATI. Tell us what all of these things can make is possible to revive our culture, preserve it, and institutionalize it.
Thank you so much. It's very possible because over the years, the past 5 years, what we have played over the period for Dr. Baba, this expert in culture of our Liberian history, it's possible. And it's very important that we as young people understand our culture, and it helps to unite Liberians. As he said, we want this information and this ideology to go in 15 countries where we will have young people coming together, uniting through culture and giving details on their backgrounds. Today, you find most of our young people don't speak their dialects. You ask them, like, I'm not going to go farther. Me, I'm from Lofa, and my parents they never took me there, so I don't speak my dialect.
But you can't understand that?
You're born where? You say you're born where? Your parents, you said from where? So what tribal grouping they from? Lofa has 6 tribal grouping. Which one they from? Which one? What? Yeah, Vonjama. So that's Loma, right? You say you can speak Loma. Both parents Loma. Oh, what a nice intermarriage. But you just, you want to tell me you can
No, you see, Chris, listen to me. The question that you're asking that young child is the question that you ask the older ones who brought the war in the country. And that's why we are saying that it's important for us to preserve the culture of the country, because what the young lady just exhibited is an example of the problem
I
that we
disagree.
have
Hold
in
on, just hold
Liberia.
on. Hold on, I disagree. Yes, we
Yeah,
had
it's good for you to disagree, no problem.
a devastating civil war. This
Mm-hmm.
civil war did not, however, wipe out any tribal grouping. We regroup, reconnected family members. As a matter of fact, it is during the war that I knew how to speak Loma excellently. Just before the outbreak of war, I couldn't speak Loma fluently. It is during the war. And after the war, I made it part of myself. Why should we blame the senseless civil war for somebody not being able to speak their vernacular?
Okay, are you done? Let me answer that for you, please.
I'm done.
Okay, fine. First of all, I listened to you, and what worked for you during the war did not work for millions of people during the war. So maybe you couldn't speak Loma, as you said, before the war, but during the wartime, you had the opportunity to speak Loma when things were upside down. So for you, that was good for you. But for a child who had to run up and down, not even in a stable condition where everything was destroyed and all of that, including some of the relics that we're talking about that we want to preserve and all of that, So I don't think, I appreciate your differing, but, people have different experiences. So your experience was that you learned how to speak Loma, during the heat of the war when people were shooting and running up and down. But before then, when it was peaceful, you didn't know how to speak it well. So that kind of analogy, well, is good for you. But for most people, they really were in a state of disarray, and the same disarray still continues. And then apart from that, I'll talk about institutionalized. The culture is not even taught in the schools. So I don't know how you would blame a child that even if she didn't have the opportunity at home to learn it, that was denied the opportunity to learn it in school.
So that you just piqued my mind just now. That was a question I was about to ask. You guys are focusing on youth and adult. Are you also considering the kids? The kids are coming down to that level.
Oh yes.
Yeah, because
it's a whole holistic thing. It's a holistic thing. It's not just for adults and all of that. The reason why
any programs for the younger ones?
Oh, the younger ones, I've been sending you guys photos and articles. Photos and things with Chris, with some of our activities involving children. We have the Children's Peace Theater. Like, for instance, during the wartime, I was consultant with UNICEF, and I established the Children's Peace Theater, consisting of children ages 8 to 10 or 14, and taught them little drama about peace, and they sang songs about we don't want no more war, we want peace, and all of that. And we took them to different, camps, displaced centers, and different camps, to honor the different, warring factions. Some went to Banga, we went to Buchanan, we went to different places, promoting peace and reconciliation through music, through dance, through drama, through storytelling. So there are so many activities that the young people will be involved with. But these younger people who are members of Decanty Artist Theater, who are college graduates, some with degrees and some still in college, those ones are the young people that we are going to engage. The young people of the country, especially after violence and all of that, need to be rehabilitated. And part of that rehabilitation is to provide training for them, let them know who they are, where they come from, and hopefully know a little bit about the country. And so the type of activities that we want to carry on are geared towards actively engaging young people throughout the country, connecting them culturally and nationally. And the purpose for that is to create not only cultural awareness and self-awareness, but national consciousness.
Okay.
National consciousness.
Okay. All right. So the question is do we have a culture, and if yes, can we discuss or recommend whether Liberian culture can be taught at the primary level? So before a child reaches 6th grade, about to enter junior high, they are already informed about the Liberian culture.
What the question is going to what?
I mean, all of them.
So this young man
how I can also
this young man hasn't
as
spoken
well.
since he came. You listen to Magdalene's question, right? Whether we can take it, we can go fundamentally from kindergarten all the way to high school level or secondary level, whether that can help to resuscitate, preserve. Doc said on 2 words: preserve and institutionalize. I'm adding resuscitate, since no one has disagreed with me that we have a broken cultural program. Let's hear you, Chief.
Henry F. Tamba. So to the question, whether kids from let's say elementary, in the elementary divisions of the academic setting can get involved into the culture of the country, like to learn it. This is something that we are saying, maybe we are just describing it in a different term. But when we speak of institutionalizing Liberian culture, we are starting at the very beginning of the academic settings. So if we have like our Liberian culture being taught in schools, like starting from elementary, kids start to learn their culture, they get to know who they are. Before reaching to junior high, they can have a better understanding of what their culture is. And if the opportunity be there and the institutionalization of the culture reach as far as college level, people can decide, they can make their choices based on their previous knowledge from elementary. They can decide to pursue further, maybe certificates or diploma in any of the cultural activities of the country. So to have it being taught at schools is something that we are after. That is something we've been preaching, and we keep saying it. We need to institutionalize our culture. We need to teach people. People need to know where they come from, who they are, and what they should do. If we get to know these things at a very early age, then we stand a better chance to preserve our culture for the next generation that will come after us.
Amen. That's a good one.
Yeah, just to add it to hearing. All right.
Did I?
So
before you continue, Chief, did I hear you say amen?
I said amen. Yes, that was a good response.
We're in for a cloud church or preachers where you make political statement, people say amen.
No. Excuse me, I beg your pardon. When I say amen, I'm saying amen as a rabbi, as a Jewish person, as a Jewish Liberian from the southeastern region of the country. I'm a choir man.
Okay, so let me hear you. Wanted to make addition here.
All right. First thing, I would like to make clear that we don't have a curriculum to address the Liberian culture. Some elementary schools and kindergarten schools, you often find them taking kids to the museums. And we don't have the curators at the museum to adequately explain the Liberian culture at those museums, to explain the essence of the relics that are placed within the museum. So one of the things that the youth for the Coalition of the Promotion of Liberian Culture want to do is that we want to create, with the expertise of Dr. Baba, we want to create a curriculum to address the issue of the Liberian culture. A curriculum that will start from the kindergarten up to the college or the undergraduate level. These are some of the things that we are petitioning the Liberian National Legislature and that the office of the president. We want to create a curriculum to address the Liberian culture. A curriculum that starts from KG up to the undergraduate level. So these are some of the things that we are looking at when we discuss the issue of institutionalizing the Liberian culture.
Okay, sorry.
You cannot teach a culture without a curriculum. And we need Dada Baba owing to the fact that he's versatile within that. He has a degree and he has the qualification and the competence in the issue of education, curriculum development. And then he also have the technical know-how how to preserve and institutionalize, how to bring about a new beginning within Liberian culture, because as you all know, the Liberian culture is totally there. You even go to weddings, you go to ceremonies.
One of the things you want to tell them too, Martin, is that we'll be having movies. We'll be producing our own movies. We have actors.
To help empower Lollywood. Because in Liberia we have Lollywood. These are some of the things that we are actually looking at. So the youth for the coalition and promotion of Liberian culture, these are some of the issues that we want to bring on board with the Waka administration. We need those technocrats to help us develop the significant aspect that will lead to industrialization through our tourism. There are some of the things we are actually looking at.
Okay, this is State of the Nation. It's 11 minutes after 4 o'clock. In the next 10-15 minutes, we should open the lines for interaction. This is, in my mind, a little bit of politics, but this is at least 90% cultural orientation that we all have to put our
Excuse me, when you say politics, what do you mean? Because I want to understand your definition of politics.
Because your members here, they are soliciting a presidential appointment for you.
Okay, and what's wrong with that?
That's political. I didn't say anything is wrong with it. I said that's political.
Oh, it's political. It's educational as well. It's educational.
No, hold on, Chief. You agree with me? I said.
Yes.
I said.
Yes, it's political because you love politics, so that's fine. But we're talking from the aspect of education. We're talking about from the aspect of education, culture, and all of that, and nationalism.
Doc. Let me come in this way.
Yeah.
There's only one person who appoints you as cultural ambassador of the Republic of Liberia. That is the president.
Yes.
That is the president.
Yes, sir.
So, any appointment coming from the president is political. That's the context in which I spoke.
Okay, now I understand.
Okay, so I'm saying, unlike other platforms that we usually speak 100% politics, like the one coming up right after here, at least this one, we managed to speak a little bit politics, like 10%. The rest is all cultural business. That's what I was saying. Maybe it was misunderstood.
Oh, no, it's all right. That's cool. I just wanted to understand it. That's all. You know, sometimes in communication, if you don't understand something, let the other person know that you didn't understand it so they can make it clear. Because clear communication is very, very important.
So you wouldn't mind coming down if you were preferred by the president, right? You wouldn't mind coming down to stay.
That's my home.
Yeah,
that's my home.
So that's your home. Why are you not here?
I'm not here because I'm here in the States. That's why I'm not there.
Dog. One time English teacher at the AME Zion Academy.
Look at the little podcast ask me that kind of question. Why you not here and you there? You should know better. Anyway, to answer your question, yes. Let me send some blessings to all Liberians. Let me send some blessings to all of you, Chris, Magdalene, everybody. I want you to know that what is taking place right now is by the blessing of the Almighty God. The young people who are there advocating for me to serve as cultural ambassador of the Republic of Liberia, most of them were born during the wartime. They have not even seen me before. They have not seen me in person.
Yeah, I know. So but we need to sometimes We just got to pull leg and make the fun out of it. That's all. So 077-514-4270. This will take us up to 20 minutes after 4 o'clock. And after at that time, we will go into the achievement closet of the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia. I'm talking about Davison Fuller. I will give a testimony on where I know him from and how rich he is with the experience in serving the position. We also talked to George Sylvester Mulba, former Director General, Acting Civil Aviation Authority. He has got a bone to pick with Amara Kone, Senator of Bapolu County. These are much more still ahead of us. The callers have begun coming. Here is Hartford. Hartford hails from River G County, but does not speak Grebo. Hartford, good afternoon to you. Huh? Oh, please go ahead. Wake up fully.
He told me I can't speak Grebo. I'm speaking Grebo.
Now Grebo there. Grebo there. Why are you embarrassing yourself on this radio?
Yeah, please go on, Chief. How you doing?
So, you see, this is what we keep saying about our culture. Once, some part of last year, I introduced the best gospel seeking trial competition in Liberia, the Leader for Christ project, and the 3 tribes that came up with that the Pele came first, the Kisi came second, and the Global came third. People cannot speak the dialect, including the brother in the studio called Christopher SELLEE.
You see that?
Who went no far before he started learning. So he does not know more about his own dialect. However, once I was talking with Chris and I told him, people coming in the country and indoctrinating our people, demonizing our culture. It is not right. It's wrong. And we sit there and put our head up and try to embrace it. It's not fine. You come and demonize the poor society, the Sunday bunch, and all of these things, and you want to come and tell us to accept gay attitude? Then I ask a question. The gay attitude and the lesbianism that they're trying to promote in this country, the Westerner, which one God destroyed the country for? Which one is sinful? Is it our poor society, our Sunday society, or this attitude they're bringing in the country? We must resist and fight against it and promote our culture. I was talking with a Southeastern, a Kenyan man. That man holds a doctorate degree speaking both English and his dialect. How can it be? We must promote this thing. And I'm waiting for that our father on our side to come so that we can join and push the team forward.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Yes, sir. Very good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good, sir.
Yeah, I'm so grateful to hear this program on radio. And everyone is now speaking on tomorrow.
Okay.
I just brother get let the line rightly said. For me, I'm from Korea District, one country. I joined the Poor Society. We learn how to fit net, how to fit t-shirts, that t-shirt with collar one. I mean, we learn a lot of things. Though, yes, everything had its negative and positive part. But I believe there was somehow positive that we learn how to respect other people. Even up to now, I am married at the age of 54. I am not able to stop my job. Just easily. That's not easy.
You say you're not able to do what?
To suck my dick and my wife.
Oh no, but those are lessons in a bush school. You can't do that.
Yeah. How many people you don't have you have doing it around here? Okay, thank you, sir. Oh, you learn here? Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
At least you agree with me. At Dark's expense. Next caller. Hello.
Chief.
Hello.
Yes.
this is Brown Tate from Monrovia.
Right there. That's why I know you. Let's hear you now. You rule. I speak in crime to you, Chief. That other message now what I telling me say I can speak my own dad. I speak in crime.
Mon boy.
Listen to Doc. Doc, yeah.
Ona you don't come again. I am. These are winning.
You heard him?
Goli boye pa Chris Selleee angry or dua lamanyu or tia lamanguru apu ajibo or one year sooner.
Dolly, nous pepper, Let's hear you, Brown, quickly.
On the media with MAGDALENE, and I think it's important that our culture be revamped. Now we need to do the title because of what they got to the title. Saying this that you know a part of the culture, but though uniqueness of the culture, the way we used to greet people, respect people, party amount, giving people, small children, all these kind of things. I mean, it's being eroded. So I'm sure that the Baba will one day come back. If they come in, they used to have their program to zero and there. But Chris, thank you so much for the conversation you've been having with me and MAGDALENE. Thank you so much. I always follow.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. And we can take one more and then go one more. Okay. The last caller. Let's hear you. What's your name?
My name is Gabriel. Calling from Togo.
Gabriel, let's hear you. Move away from the receiver.
Yeah, the thing is that our country is very much important. The reason being, I didn't want to speak longer because our parents don't take us back to our broad country.
Look at you. How old are you now? 28 years. At 18, you are a man on your own now. You can't pay your way to go to your hometown. Where are you from? Can you? That's the home of my mother. Look at you. Move on the line, here, man. Move on the line.
Hi, your brother.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, dog. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So everyone is listening now. Dog, let's get your reaction, and then we'll go to Studio 2 to hear from the folks before we can sign off.
Yeah. Well, as I was saying before, I said it's a blessing, and the blessing here is that the request is coming from the people. In our tradition as traditional Africans, traditional Liberians, we don't get up and tell people, say, I want to be president, or I want to do this, I want to do that. You wait, all you do is to serve your people. When you serve them, then they themselves will come to you and say, we want you to do this and do that. And that's what has happened today. So I respect the will of the people. I respect the will of the young people. And I think it's a blessing that after 50 years, this calling will come from the young people of the Republic of Liberia. The responses that we've received from the callers, those responses corroborate our concern and our recommendation that we should preserve and institutionalize our Liberian culture. The other thing the one fellow said about the influx of foreign culture come into the country, denigrating our institutions and all of that. The preservation and institutionalization of our culture, which we'll be doing in the schools, we'll be building structures, museums and cultural centers, performance centers, and all those things across the country. It has to be that way because each county and each ethnic group has its own unique characteristics that must be projected in the national curriculum. The young man, Martin Jabo, talked about the curriculum. The curriculum drives the instruction of the type of education that is provided in the nation. So therefore, we must reconceptualize the national curriculum. That's an area, also a technical area, in which I can provide services to the government of Liberia, especially the Ministry of Education, to make sure that what we teach the children, is about them. It's about the immediate environment and the people that they live with, so that we can develop harmonious relationship as a nation and people. The other aspect of the thing that the person said was that infiltration, the culture of Liberia has been infiltrated. Young people, the ages I just talked about, one say I'm 28, the other person said this and that. Those are all the war babies and things that I'm talking about, who didn't have that opportunity living in a stable, quiet, peaceful society. They were born running and hearing guns and different value systems and all of that. So publishing books, also publishing books, doing research. They take calls for research. There are a lot of things, valuable things that we have, that if we research around the country, we may be able to preserve those areas so that they become touristic centers. That will also develop, that will improve our tourism, industry in the country. Liberia is a very beautiful place where people should be coming, to spend their vacation from all around the world. We have beautiful sceneries and all of that, but they have not been developed because the research has not been done. There are certain places that have more cultural values that people can come to. I'll give you an example. For instance, the Unification Monument in Vonjima. That monument there is a monument that could pull, thousands and thousands of tourists to go there to see where the unification and integration monument was constructed. That whole area there can be preserved as a national treasure, because if we talk about unification and integration in Liberia, that policy that President Todman, instituted, help us today for us to be mixed. Chris, you were asking the young lady, who's your father? She said, my father is Lama. And say, who's your mother? My mom or Kran. So you can see that we are integrated. But before then, we weren't like that before. So doing research and having places like that Vonjima monument, it needs to be preserved as one of the national treasures of the country, or like that. So there are so many places like that. So what the person was saying does make sense, and that can help us to protect our cultural values. The other thing that I want to let you guys know is that people use religion. You ask me one question, and say, oh, you said something political, then you come and say, amen, or Christian, this and that. People have used religion to destroy our cultural values. Here in the West, the people have Halloween, they wear their mask and thing, they believe in witches and all of that, but they come to Africa and tell you not to do the things that your ancestors have passed down to you to do, so that in the end you end up being like them, because they want you to be subservient, not to be independently minded. So knowing about your culture provides that independent mindedness that we need, so that we can stand up as Liberians and not be fake about it and be confused whether we're Ghanaians or Sierra Leoneans or we're dressing like whoever it is and all of that, but that we will dress as Liberians should dress. We will speak as Liberians should speak, and our languages and things can be taught in the schools where the students can get diplomas. You can get a degree in Kru or Lama culture, the dances and things and all of that. So those are the things that will propel development and peace, in the country. The last thing that I want to stress with respect to the youth, the core thing, is the promotion of peace and reconciliation. That piece is also missing. So what makes the DATI program very unique is that we have the peace building aspect of our program. So while we are teaching people about the history and the culture, we are also telling Liberians that we are all one people.
So we see, I don't brag about my linguistic ability. I cut across.
To push it up.
I'm speaking for you. That man tell me say I don't speak my own Lama. Let me speak Lama to you. I don't want on the platform make this
Babasi.
Babesu, fine lasso, live as you kawalai. Okay, that's excellent. Do you have any Kisi person on the platform there? Yeah, Kisi. Tell me that Hundo.
No. Okay, so encourage people in.
No, you interact with him.
Okay, so you just send a message to the young people, encouraging them to support your initiative. And what can we do? The same thing you were saying concerning us lifting Liberian culture, and then I will tell them when I understand. I will tell them in Kisi. They don't speak broken Kisi here. I can understand it very well. I will tell
so
you
which
when
one you interpret now, the Kisi?
Yeah, when he speak, he speak
the Kisi in English for us.
Yeah,
follow. Go ahead.
All right.
Thank you. You know why you take a bit and piece when you speak, and then I'll interpret. Yeah. Okay.
Very good. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So I want to take this time to say hello to everyone, all Liberians. His name is Heren Tama. Fire. Heren Fire Tama. Okay. He's the head of the Deconti Theater for Maserado. Right. So he's here today to discuss about the entire culture stuff, so that we all can put hands together and be very intentional about what we say about this entire culture and Liberian culture.
Thank you.
No, what? Two more. Just say something again. Yeah. Oh, you get it, Anna?
Okay. You bypass your respect.
Yeah, take it easy now. You no, say that again, please. You running too fast. This is a time. Yeah, go on. So that we can keep our culture, right? Yeah. Those that know it, those that understand it very well, they are among us. 11111.
Oh, it's wise.
We need to hold them. We need to hold them and tell them that ourselves we need to understand, because there are not many. There are just few who understand this with the help of Dr. Baba and Mr. SELLEE. There are just few people, so we have to hold them and make them understand that we, the young people, you're talking about the young people, right? We, the young people, want to understand our culture.
Okay, are you feeling? Oh, but
if they're getting old, if they're old and they're old, if they are old, Yeah, when you get old, those are you who already getting old. Okay, so we the young people now, we can be able to transfer those ideas, those knowledge that we've gotten from you, the older people.
Now, not because Kissy president, you're just it's okay that you.
So he want to say thank you so much.
But that's excellent. Chris, that's excellent.
Sorry, the lady says she can't speak Loma. Then let's talk to what's Jabo? Jabo left.
Okay.
So what's about you, Chief? What dollar do you speak? Okay, let's hear you quickly.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Time is fast spent. I mean, how do you call it? Hartford, you can speak your dollar. Just hold on.
Yeah. We that can understand our dialect. We the one.
Sheikh Sano, you are in the newsroom. You are listening. Please come and speak 1.5 minute Madingo. Please, if you dare.
Yeah,
Sheikh Sano. I'm trying to cue one Loma song.
Yeah, who here? My people, who's here? Hello? Huh?
Hello.
Yeah, who's this?
Your papa D1 producer.
Oh, my people. What you say? Yeah.
Madeline, thank you. You made Christopher SELLEE she.
Hey, I guess I'll put us there.
I got support myself.
Cut that thing off. Cut that thing off.
He would not. Thank you. Support my support system show. I tell you,
The point here is, I wanted this man to speak English. Then you
no, you don't. I want a family thing. You don't decide. Yeah, you don't decide what we do. Yeah, man.
Go, Maggie. Go, Maggie.
Yeah, where's Shek?
Shek, go there now.
Shek, come.
Okay,
go in there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's Shek.
Who there?
Let's Shek go and speak Madingo.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the institutionalization of our culture.
Yeah, you said?
Yeah.
Shek.
Yeah, quickly. Yeah, what you say? Oh.
You kissy woman?
All right.
You kissy woman?
How far you there? So, Hartford. Tell us something. Me there for squeeze Hartford. Hartford. How far you wrote that thing on paper?
I foresee you, man.
I foresee you.
So
Write it
here
on
comes,
paper. Stop writing on paper.
here comes Sheikh. Sheikh will lecture us about our culture, our tradition in Mandingo. Sheikh, let's hear you.
I can hear Sheikh, man.
Okay.
Sheikh Sanore. I got it, man. I badenja I tomorrow wala ne na kasoka puku ibagini we amina ne ki tomorrow mo radu bumba me fama ku FM I badenja tomorrow ne fama ku Sheikh Sano le majini bi mikro kuma barani koma afeka kuma mo ku kenyauka e fama ku culture mini we mo ku mi anyaminga wole to ku culture sani to bute na kabo to bula ani arabu kina aya dinale Mida nika slama ya dinale, ni kusia dinale. Moto kumi ya nyamga jurale. Fafina kuna no, e forma kukocho. So kukocho Kenya do you know. Adama mine ule demise dinila mo si mubala ko buira. Adama duna we mine ni kaso kapo ku isine sifeno. Mubala mo madunila iwi isife ndama. Ifano mubala mo yina ilaja ya fu. Akaso kapo ku isine ba ilo neba. Na mubara mumi akoile ikaki wi otufu mo kochoro asia katri dina fana nani sama dina mona wo buta ola same una buka sama dina so dina fana ni ana kocho odu yina kocho mu beni akawu tuyo mu ma be akawu boyno mutan ka mide mutan ka bato kole kabe mo kocho du te no mote bato ke aka du bato so dina na dina ko ko mo du bato ko dabia o ke no kocho mi o kocho te kocho bele Bon mo bien kocho mo ko kenya dina ka fuka ko mo utiro ule mo mo bien ko ani muso ka jidila chema fama bine ka jida chema so mo kocho mo
all right
what check
thank you
hey
thank you young man
thank you thank you very much
Jarawa
Tompo from River G the man he unaware River G on campaign.
You have always misled me. Moving forward, what you and myself, we have to come out. I will never buy it for you again.
What is that? What?
So you have said to me that I can't speak or you can't even understand it. But you see, actually, she brought him into the whole program.
So you see, mediocrity. You.
Yeah,
I thought you're supposed to be telling. No one spoke English. I'm gonna move from the land, man. Former minister, you like you.
I actually recommend that you guys actually honestly, for this time, I really appreciate that you guys bring back the culture. And Chris, as a manager, maybe in the future, before you leave this station,
before you leave to go where? Okay, thank you very much. Let me talk to you. Okay,
Mr. Minister.
Can I? Yeah, Ibarika. Ibarika Tao. Allergy for allergy. I knew it.
No, Ebra.
And she even know what is Baya in Kisi.
What? Enemy of progress. Enemy of progress.
You will forever be my uncle.
Absolutely.
Hold on, Jamal. You for. Oh man.
Oh my God.
You will forever be my uncle, and may this loyalty that you demonstrated to me, may you receive your reward tonight. May you receive a presidential reward tonight.
It's gonna be fair one. Do my own prayer. You and I say email. You see, anyway, I know you already got issue with me. Just rest.
Thank you so much.
And Hansi and Olivia, they want to speak Basa.
Yeah, that'll come.
Yeah, come.
Yeah, tell her to come.
Yeah. Justin
Batoma can't speak Pele. Papa Sanga can't speak Mana or Gio.
Olivia Hansen.
Olivia can't speak.
Yeah,
can't
you can come quick. You can come quick.
Yeah. Let's see who could, when you're ready now, I'll get close up in Lomana.
No. Broken, Loma, you can be speaking. Broken. So I can be so embarrassed.
I can speak Loma, I can speak Mende.
Look, if people are speaking, this guy on the other side was actually speaking broken Kisi. I was interpreting it as Tinder.
This man?
Yeah.
I see. It's sweet for you. So where are they?
They come in.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So Jeffrey, we're supposed to be listening. This is a promotion. Let me tell you why they come. Let me give you a story. We're on a bus. Ask Jerry Seafors. Jerry Seafors works with Ministry of Telecom. We're on a bus in China, deep into China, Wuhan, where the coronavirus started from. And we agree, all African students, we agree to sing our national anthem in our vernacular. The South Africans sang, the Tanzanians sang in Kiswahili, the South Africans sang in Zulu, the Nigerians sang in Yoruba. In fact, the three dialects they sang it in. Then they came to Ghana, they sang in three. Then Jerry Seafors and I were sitting side by side on the bus, and we stood up.
The American people.
Oh, yeah, not being real.
The American people.
This guy from Uganda, they call Philip Bakuru, a very good friend of mine. He said, Chris, so every time I see you and Jerry speaking English, you don't have any data to cheat us in this bus. Every time you speak English. So I told him, I said, my country has 16 tribal groupings, but we don't have one that all of us can speak. He said, and you are, at that time, I think Liberia was around 162 years, 63 years old. And he said, and you are 163 years old, and you are here bragging about that. Shame on you. Look at you. Then they woke up, they sang in Kiswahili, their national anthem. It is an embarrassment. When I was at the university, people, they had Department of Pele, but nobody took it serious. Even the department now used to conduct classes. When they read the Yagi assignment, go and we speak this one when you come in. Here for your envelope, you can. We're kidding ourselves. Another person said the language that is very easy to speak is VAR. VAR. Ask anybody. VAR is so simple to speak. How come we don't have one national language? When we say the white man infiltrated our tradition or culture, people say you want to be racist. Where are these people?
I mean, if they can't come, then we'll move on. Because I received a text from them.
Yeah, they can't. They do not come.
So I really want to appreciate myself for interpreting. I understand Kisi very well. I may not go word for word, but I understand that. I like my.
So that can be your closing statement.
Yeah, I think we can hear from them.
Yeah, let's hear.
But I think that already gave a party comment now.
Let's hear from those people.
Who gave party comment?
We gotta talk to George Mulba.
Don't play with me.
Yes, let's hear you quickly, Tama. Tama, let's hear you.
Thanks to the management of this radio station, Truth FM. I appreciate you for giving us the opportunity to be here to speak to our friends and to speak to all Liberians. It is very important that we take this thing very serious to preserve our culture, because we can't do this now. The time is no longer in our favor. The people who have the expertise to transfer onto us the ideas, the knowledge that we raised out when we were growing up, they are not in that huge numbers again. So we need to give them the chance so they can pass on to us these things, that we can be able to educate our younger ones that are coming up, so that our culture can be preserved. Because if you want to try today and you introduce them to a Nigerian culture, definitely they will pick that up. So if we have our culture being preserved in the country, if our children comes, they meet the practices going on, they will learn and live as Liberians instead of adopting another culture. So I want to say thank you, and thanks to Dr. Baba for this meaningful program. It is something very educative. I don't know what I could do if I was not part of the Devontae Harris Theater to be able to learn and respect my culture and my traditional values. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, Madam.
All our parents, our mothers out there, continue to teach the children. Now you have the opportunity to teach them a dialect. Give them the unity of the past. Don't say because they in the material. Once you do your home with them, you should give them, you should teach them their culture. Let them know who they are and go among people so they can know what they say, because some of us are waiting for the help of Dr. Baba. We are always spending our cultural heritage and to promote sustainable peace, national unity and reconciliation in our country. Let's promote our culture. Thank you.
Okay, next.
Oh.
PC, they did anyway.
Thank you. I'm honored.
You guys.
We are blessed. First God and truth out of background. Even if I speak today, that I come to be almost 85% is I speak today. All right. I have never in my life since South of background. But Baba understand the issue. But Baba knows what we're talking about. The issue of culture. This is what Baba have been doing for the past 47 to 50 years today. So who else better than the Baba? It comes to that.
Okay.
Person profile or portfolio in this manner. We want to try to show to the Liberian people that this man understands the issue of the Liberian culture. He's somebody who will take us to where we are and tell us where we're going to be. You know, like I can tell people, I was in Senegal, I was in Ghana. If you just end up Senegal today, you're not going to listen to French too often. You don't listen to one off. Like you just said, it's so humiliating, right? It is stressful for you to be in this country in Africa and you can't speak your dialect or something. Anytime people will say, I don't speak that thing. But like, about warning, I said, oh, but I can't speak that thing. He said, what do you mean by you don't speak that thing? What you call that thing? That's what it's there.
Okay, Chief.
We bring, we are calling on the Liberian people, we are calling everybody to understand that we are lost and we need to redefine ourselves.
Yes, sure.
Culture.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for the time. And we hope to be back here once again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Doc, 2 minutes. We're out of time. Let's hear you.
Chris, I want to thank you and Magdalene and the technical staff for providing us the opportunity. What you are also doing, Magdalene and Chris, is that you are contributing to the forthcoming cultural revolution of the Republic of Liberia. By virtue of the fact that you are providing the medium through which we can reach out to the people of Liberia to let them know that all is not lost, that we do have a bright future ahead of us. And part of that bright future is the incoming administration of His Excellency Joseph Yoma Boyka and his Vice President Kuhn, and the President pro tempore of the Senate, the Speaker, and the Chief Justice, and all of the people of the various, wings of our democracy. Now, our democracy rests on the viability of our cultural and touristic industries, our educational structure as well. And so because of what has happened in the country, we have no other time left then to begin now the peace process as well as the preservation and institutionalization of our history and culture. Part of that would be where we work along also with the Ministry of Education to work on the curriculum, because the curriculum drives the instruction so that we may be able to provide learning opportunities for all Liberians that will conscientize them on who they are and to preserve the history and culture of the country so that Liberia can move forward. So I want to say thank you very much, and I want to thank the youth who took upon themselves to prepare a resolution to present to the government requesting mine being recognized and nominated or appointed as cultural ambassador of the country. I stand prepared to serve all of you. And also, with respect to what Chris said, I want to acknowledge the very fine work that Julie Andy has done in the country for the past 27 years. It is very, very commendable. And I really do look forward to working along with her. The thing here is that preserving the culture and history of the country is everybody's business. So not one individual is able to do it. I'm not able to do it by myself. The young people who are supporting me, they are not able to do it by themselves. We all have to work together. So I really want to extend, greetings to Miss Andy for such a wonderful job that she has done in the country as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Baba. Time has caught up with us. We've got 4 minutes to sign off. To those of you, Loma people, under my voice, I got a special music for you here. And this will take us home. We'll use it today as our closing theme with the permission from our co-presenter, who is an aunt to the Loma people. Doc, thank you so much for your initiative, and to the young people in the studio. Thanks so much. That's how we go home on this edition of State of the Nation. We're supposed to speak to Mr. George Sylvester Malba, but because of time, we will do that tomorrow. Trust me, Mr. Malba, you're watching, you're listening in Bangabon County, and to you, the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, tomorrow I will profile you. I got everything in my hand, but we have to go this way due to time factor. This is Les Zawagi. They found themselves across the border in Guinea, but of the Loma ethnic group. Let's hear and dance to this one. Sorry, I took the wrong one. This is it.
Thank you.